Hi, Facebook. I am working on getting Instagram up. I don't want to start Instagram too early because since they have a limit, right? They cut off right at 1 hour. If you would like to go ahead and get started, I have a beach towel that I use, roll up, and something I just happen to have down here in my basement. It's like an old phone case. It's like a BlackBerry case. Why I still have it, I don't know. But it's going to be my block if I need it. And again, I'm just going to work on getting the Insta set up. And then we have about 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll get started. Alright, well, let's get our Insta. Let me know, Facebook land, if you can hear me all as well. Again, we're going to get started in just about 2 minutes maybe. I'll go ahead and go live on Insta. Hi Insta, good afternoon, good evening. All right, it is 5:30 right now. If you're just joining, grab a mat, a towel if you have one, right? If you generally need a blanket or a bolster when you practice. If you're new, make sure you have a towel nearby, grab that. And this will be my pretend block for today. It's an old phone box case, and I'm going to use that as my block. My name is Aimee. My name is Aimee Winkler. I work at the Eldersburg location, and we're going to get started with Vinyasa flow practice today. Okay. Let's see. We'll be doing a lot of one breath, one move after we do our centering and get started. One breath, one move. So that might be, if you're asking, what is the difference from Vinyasa, from a fundamentals or a gentle class. And it's really just the pace of the class. One breath, one move, right? And Vinyasa meaning to place in a special way. So, we'll be moving our body in arms, legs, everything through a series of yoga asanas or poses. Right? All right. Take this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start in child's pose today. So, a couple options for the child's pose here. Your big toes can be together with your knees separated to the outsides of the mat, right? And then sitting all the way back, the hips to the heels with the arms out front. We're going to keep the arms out front, sort of like an active child's pose, so we can get some heat in through the shoulders, right? The other option you will have is to bring the knees together and fold over top that way. All right, sometimes that puts a lot of pressure through the abdominals. So if that's bothering you, take the knees out to the sides with the toes together, right? Another option, if having the knees in this full bend is bothersome to them, I know I've been doing some yard work, so my knees are getting a little tired of being in that full bend. So you're able to come up onto really more of the hips over top of the knees, in a little modified child's pose here. Just holding this pose here, right? Taking the time to feeling the breath coming in and coming out. We don't really necessarily need to make real long, deep breaths yet at this point, especially in this position where our diaphragm and our abdomen is kind of doubled over, right? So just start noticing your breath, how it's feeling coming in and out. And trying to still the mind, right? Quiet that down from most likely your probably busy day. Stilling the fluctuations of the mind. I have my watch on, so I'll make sure not to go over like I did on Sunday. That was so crazy. Also, thinking maybe an intention you'd like to set for today's class. You know, any number of things that you can think of. You know, maybe it's, you know, you would like to go make it all the way to the end today. You want to make your breath a focus for the day. That's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about most of the practice is the breath, keeping the focus and bringing yourself back to that breath, your pranayama. All right, so go ahead and bring yourself up to tabletop here. Inhale, gotta get these socks off, right? And then exhale, lift the hips up into down dog here. This is our first down dog, so feel free to bend those knees, right? Especially if you're feeling a lot of pressure, a lot of tug on the hamstrings. Bend the knees. Breaths can get a little bit deeper at this point. In fact, let's see if we can bring them in deeper, lengthen them, a bigger inhale and a bigger exhale, right? Having that inhale and that exhale match each other. I'm not seeing much feedback, so I've seen some feedback on Insta, so just Facebook, you can give me a thumbs up. I mean, you're in down dog right now, so you might want to wait a second, but again, lengthening, right? So we're going to take a nice long inhale and exhale, trying to make them around about the same length. So you can, one of the ways that you can do that is by counting on the inhale and then counting on the exhale. Walk this down dog out a little bit, pedaling through the heels. Hold in the center, big breath. And then slowly start walking your feet up towards your hands. We're going to stop the feet underneath of the hips. Feet about 6 to 8 inches apart, and we'll hold here in our forward bend. Again, totally okay to keep these knees bent to start off with, right? The hamstrings are still getting woke up a little bit. And then we're going to grab a hold of our elbows on each side and sway back and forth here in a little ragdoll. Shake your head yes and no so that we can make sure that the neck is released, right? So one thing we want to avoid is kind of looking up and out. Across, up and up to the top of the mat. Want the head down, so be looking right at those thighs. Shake it again, sway back and forth.
And we'll take the hands down to the floor. Breath here. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Maybe you're on your shins. That's totally fine as well. Exhale, forward fold. And then a slight bend in your knees, taking your behind down towards the ground. And then inhale all the way up to a high mountain here. So we'll bring the hands up and over the head, right? Relaxing these shoulders down from the ears. So we're reaching up, we're really using our ribs to reach up. The difference is shoulders, I'm reaching up and my shoulders are like extended earrings, right? Or I'm going to relax the shoulders and use my ribs to lift up through the ceiling. Take a big inhale here and exhale. The hands are going to come to heart center, right? Take a minute or two to walk out your feet, pedal them out here, coming up onto the ball of the foot, little stretch on the toes, and then a rock back and forth, lift the heels, lift the toes, and finally settle yourself down into nice grounded position here. Mountain pose. We'll release the hands out to the sides. Take the shoulders and roll them up, back and down, and hold here, right? Really trying to connect with the ground here. Sending the energy all the way up, right? From the ground to the top of the head. Lengthen through that crown. We're going to do a few half sun sounds, right? Then we'll move to sun A and sun B. Building the heat, right? Let's begin. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Follow it all the way through to the floor. Inhale to half lift, reaching long through the crown of the head. Exhale again to the floor. And then inhale back up to the top. Nice and big. Reach up with the ribs. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll follow through that one more time. Inhale, breath up to the top. Exhale, fold. Inhale yourself to a half lift, reaching long through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Breath in all the way up to that top. And bring your hands to heart center here. Taking a nice breath in and out. Remind yourself of your intention for today. And then we'll flow through, adding on. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we'll fold. You can continue to bring the palms down through the chest, the sternum, or out to the outside. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, taking the hands to the ground, right? Stepping back with one foot and then the other into your plank. Let's hold here. Hold here in this plank, pressing the floor away, right? Squeezing the glutes and squeezing through the quads. Hold here. Right? Feel free now. You can drop to your knees or you can stay here with these legs full extended. Right, you're going to keep the elbows in super close to the side and drop yourself all the way to the mat. All the way to the mat. Flatten out those toes and then inhale yourself up. Just a little baby, a baby cobra here. And then exhale back down. Inhale into your cobra again. Maybe a little higher this time. Bring the shoulders down from the ears and exhale back down. One more time, a little higher in your cobra. Inhale. There with the elbow cracks and down. All right, inhale back to tabletop and exhale to your down dog here. Down dog, number 2 of the day. So maybe we're feeling a little more flexible through the calves and the hamstrings. Still, feel free to sway and move and maybe pedal out the legs here. Still working on warmth. We're going to stay here for a few breaths because I want you to work on your Ujjayi breathing, right? Hi, Lynn. Great, yep, it's being recorded. All right, so working on your Ujjayi breathing here. Breaths in. Exhale, keeping the mouth closed. Still taking the nice deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. So the breath is still, it's not only coming through the nose. It's as if you had a straw, right? You're trying to blow through a straw, or maybe something a little bit bigger, a garden hose. So keep that Ujjayi breathing going here in this down dog that we are in, right? It's going to also help to build the heat on the inside of the body, right? Ujjayi, building the heat on the inside. Getting a little tapas going. All right, one more breath. Inhale. As you inhale, look to the top of your mat. Take a big step up. Let's go with the right foot. Then the left foot will follow. And then inhale yourself to a half lift. Fold down. Inhale all the way up. Lift through the ribs. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's flow through that again, right? Sun A. Nice breath in. Ribs are lifted. Exhale as you fold. Inhale to half lift, lengthening. And then exhale, hands go to the floor. Step back with your right leg, then your left, right? Options here to go into that chaturanga, or the option that we used the very first time around, you have to bend the knees, drop to the floor, and then come into cobra, right? Then you'll flow through tabletop to down dog. Two more breaths here. One more. On your next inhale, look to the top of your mat. And then as you exhale, take a big step up with your left foot. Right foot follows. Exhale. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale back up to the mountain here. Hands come into heart center. All right, so let's flow through that once again. Your two options, right? Down to the chaturanga, to the down dog, or all the way to the mat, cobra, through tabletop to down dog. All right, so if you're a beginner, you're gonna follow that sequence that we just did together, right? If you've been doing this before, you know what I'm talking about by the chaturanga, to the up dog, to the down dog. This is your time, right, to do that. Okay, inhale, reach here. Big inhale to the ceiling. Exhale as you fold. Half lift. Reaching long through the crown of the head. Exhale, take a step back with your right foot. Your left foot follows. Right, here's where we'll do the chaturanga or the drop. Up dog is an inhale. And then exhale yourself to down dog here. Ujjayi, breathe in. Shake your head out a little bit here. Get the cobwebs out. Breath in and out. Hey, Lindsay. All right. Breath in. Inhale. Look to the top of your mat. Exhale. Step with your right. Your left to follow. All right, and then half lift with an inhale. Exhale to fold. To the top, breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, so whether you're with me or on your intention to maintain breath, or you're doing your own intention, just remind yourself of that right now, what that is. We're gonna go one more time through with the left foot. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Half lift, long. Exhale, take a step back with your left foot. Right to follow. Your options for the flow through here. All right? Inhale, and then exhale yourself to your down dog. If you want, at this point, come out of that Ujjayi breathing, give some nice big sighing exhales, right? Shake your head, yes and no. Sighing exhale. It really does help, right? Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Take a step up with your left. Awesome. Follow it through with the right. Come to half lift. Fold. All the way to the top. Inhale. Heart center on your exhale. Stay here in your zone, all right? Let's move on to Sun B. That will be adding on, right? Big inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Come to half lift. I got some notes here out of the picture. I'm getting on. Half lift and fold. Take a step back with your right foot. Sorry, I had a little brain freeze there. Flow through chaturanga or drop. Inhale to your up dog, and then exhale to your down dog here. All right, here's what we're going to be adding on. We're going to take a nice big inhale and lift your right foot to the ceiling. I have a wall right here. My foot's not going far. And then you're going to exhale and bring your knee into your nose. And then again, inhale, lift it up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Continue through that 2 more times. I'm going to tuck my shirt in. I don't need my belly showing. And last time, bring this into the nose and take a step down onto the ground. Right? So we have our right foot forward. We're going to slowly first bring the chest up about halfway. Then take that back heel and let it drop to the inside line of the body, right? So our right foot is facing the short edge of the mat and our left foot the long edge of the mat, right? A quick look down for a heel to heel lineup, right? Turning and facing over top of that right leg. Inhale the arms up to the ceiling. Here we find our warrior one. Once again, our shoulders down from the ears, right? So I don't want to have them up here where they're like earrings, but relax through those shoulders. Keep a breath or two here before we move on. One more time, breath in. On your exhale, we're going to fold forward over that front foot, outline that foot, and then step back, flow through. Chaturanga, up dog, inhale, down dog, exhale. Feeling some heat going there. Inhale, lift your left leg to the ceiling. I have to do this a little differently so I don't hit the wall. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale long. One more time. Curling up the back. Long step through. Right? Moving this left arm and shoulder out of the way. Get that foot through. Bringing the upper body up about halfway before you drop the back heel in to the center line of the body. I'm going to do a quick heel check as I fall over. And then bring the arms up in our warrior one here. How are we going? We good in our warrior one? Drawing the belly buttons under here. So we bring the pelvis underneath of the shoulders a little bit. It's going to alleviate any back arch that we might have. Right, one more breath here, in and out. And then as you exhale, step back again, outline the hands, step behind and flow through. Remember your options. We can go all the way down to a cobra, through a tabletop, to down dog. Breath here. All right, one big inhale, look up, step top on your exhale. Come to half lift with an inhale. Exhale, fold all the way up. Moving into adding a chair on here. So again, shoulders are down from the ears. If your feet are slightly separated, you have the option to bring the toes together with the heels slightly separated. If that bothers your knees, go ahead and keep the knees apart. Right, I'm going to touch my toes and bring my heels out from each other. Arms are up, and then we'll sit our behinds back into a chair here. I'm going to give a quick look down to see that I can see my toes below my knees, right? So if I have a nice straight line, I still can see the toes. The behind is sitting out back, right? Maybe this is a little much on the shoulders. If your shoulders are super tight, mine are super tight, you can come down here to a prayer position. Activate all the fingers together here, right? Again, pushing a little bit, guys, some heat in that chest. All right, breathe in, inhale, reach. If you're not already there, exhale, fold. Let's flow through. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, right foot steps, left foot steps. Flow through top to bottom. Up dog. Exhale to your down dog. Here we go. Inhale, right leg to ceiling. Exhale, big step through. Get the right arm out of the way. Right? Inhale up into our warrior two. Drop the back heel in. Exhale, fold. Step back and flow through. Exhale down. Inhale up and then exhale down dog. Breath in, the left leg goes up. Right? Exhale, send it through. Get that left arm out of the way. Awesome. Inhale, reach up. Warrior one. Hold here, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Step back. Flow through. Yikes. To down dog. All right, we're going to hold here and regroup for about 3 breaths. All right, so definitely should have some heat going by now. I'm just going to readjust. Hold your down dog. Keep your breathing. Retuck my shirt. Good. Hold that down dog there. All right, so we're going to flow through that one more time. Where are we at before we move on from the sun V? Okay? Inhale. Look to the top of your mat. Exhale, take a step forward. You can hop, right? Or you can jump, or one hop, or several hops. Inhale to half lift. Fold. All the way up to mountain. Heart center. So just keeping in mind, right? One breath, one move. Each move is a breath, right? Starting with an inhale up. Fold. Half lift. Step back. Flow through. Keep the exhale. To inhale. To exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale it through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, fold. Keep blowing it out. Flow through, top to bottom. Options, right, for that cobra. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, pull it through. Right, inhale, warrior one. Exhale, fold. Flow through, top to bottom. Up and down dog. Breaths here. Feel free to walk anything out, right? One thing I want to mention at this point, if your shoulders are tight and tired, option to spread them out a little further, right? They don't have to be right over top of the shoulders. They can be a little bit wider. Once they get a little more flexible, then it'll be more comfortable for you to pull them in. All right, we're gonna have to step through to get to our chair once more. So I want you to look to the top of your mat and inhale, and then exhale, you're gonna take a big step, right or left, or one big hop, either way. Half lift and fold. Come all the way up and reach, and right from here, exhale down into your chair, right? Whether you're squeezing the knees together or they're separated, whatever's working for you, right? Either way, you're gonna push the behind back and down. So we're not here with the knees forward, but they're sitting back and down. Holding here in this chair. Inhale if you're already there. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Moving on to a little power in the series. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, step, hop, or jump. Back of your mat. Flow through. Still have these options, top to bottom. Inhale. Exhale to down. Hold. Good. Okay, moving on. Right leg is going to come in and extend up to the ceiling. Holding that there. Think about squaring these shoulders off and think about squaring off the hips. Right? So squeeze through that back leg to get that leg straightened out. Holding this three leg here. I need a drink. My throat is dry. And then you're just going to change this a little bit by bending the knee and opening up the hip. So our foot is flexed here in the top and it's going over to the left shoulder. Take your right shoulder armpit and rotate it down towards the floor a little bit more. Each one of these we're going to be holding for 4 or 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, bring this foot all the way through. Keep the heel lifted in the back. Raise the chest and the arms, and we'll hold here in crescent lunge. Right? Options here if you need it. You can always come down to one knee down with the crescent lunge. Either way, we're staying here for about 4 big breaths here, right? You're off or you're down. The shoulders are relaxed. No negotiations there, no options there. Woo-wee. All right. Inhale yourself up, and as you do, you're going to turn the back heel back into the midline of the body, extend the arms out, find yourself in your warrior two. Again, we can give a quick look down at the heels, making sure they're lined up. That's usually a good alignment. And then you're reaching your fingers to both sides of the room as far as you can. Bring this pelvis underneath a little bit and hold nice and long, right? Squeeze the shoulder blades together just a tad. Lifting the ribs up to the ceiling. We stay in here in our breath. One more is about 4 breaths. All right, nice big. Turn the front palm up to the ceiling, and then we're going to inhale as you go backwards into that reverse warrior. Back hand here can be on the back leg support, or option to do a little half bind here and wrap it around the back, the low back. We're getting a nice long stretch in this side body. So think about taking the right ribs and really lifting them high as you can before you do a little bit of a lean back here. And then engage the mid back to lengthen and take your back towards the back of the room. Right, so I want to make sure I'm not here leaning towards this inside part of my body, but nice and straight back so that I'm level with my hips and shoulders. Another breath or two there. Next, inhale, and then exhale, you're going to bring the top hand down, place the elbow on your right thigh as the left hand floats up to the ceiling here, holding in our side angle. Same thing, right? Need to engage through the mid back, squeeze the shoulder blades together to stack my shoulders. Show you a difference, right? If I'm here forward, I really want to engage and extend and lengthen through all points here. Option here, if it works, right? If it's right for you, to extend that bottom arm. I'm going to incorporate my makeshift block at this point. Neck, head, whichever place is comfortable for you. So it can be looking up, front, or down. Ooh-wee. All right, we're gonna take this right hand, place it down onto the ground. Left is gonna follow, right? Turn your hips back around, step the right foot back. We'll find ourselves in our plank position here. Hold this plank, pressing the shoulder blades up, right? Puffing up the shoulder blades. Real quick difference is here, I'm sunk down into my shoulder blades, if you can see that. Otherwise, I want to press up and out and make my head in line with my spine. This carpet is not good. Okay, we're holding a plank. Yay. All right, breath in. Exhale up to down dog. We'll give that chaturanga up dog a break. This time, inhale your left foot up towards the ceiling. Right? Flex that foot, pushing through that back heel. Breaths in and out. Bringing yourself back, right? Things should be getting a little more challenging now. So come back to that breath. Bend the top leg. So now that left foot is opening the hip, the left heel in line, trying to get to that right shoulder. And now I'm looking underneath so I can see, but I want to turn the shoulder down towards the ground. Left shoulder down. One more inhale. Exhale, let's bring the knee in towards the nose and place it down on the ground. Getting that left shoulder out of the way. Keep the back heel lifted. Inhale, up into our crescent here. Relax the shoulders down from the ears and hold. Active through this back leg. So squeeze this glute and try to straighten out that back leg. Even if you're on the ground, you still can produce that same stretch in the hip flexor by squeezing the right glute here, right? It's in the back, the right glute. Shoulders are relaxed and down from the ears. Pull the pelvis under. We're continuing to breathe, right? Staying in the breath. What do we got forward? Our left foot is forward. I'm going to have to turn. Left foot is forward. All right. Inhale, and then as you exhale, turn yourself around so you'll find yourself in your warrior two. The right heel drops to the inside line of the body, and the arms are reaching as long as you can from side to side. Hold that there. I'm going to be on the same leg. I'm just switching sides. Same leg. Nice and long here. Bring that pelvis under. Shoulder blades back slightly. And this time, see if you can't feel a little bit of difference by pressing on the outside of this long foot in the back. And then take the front foot and try to push it away from you. So say you're trying to split your mat right in half here. Let's come back to that breath. Looking over your front fingers. Turn the front palm up. Inhale, let's take it back to a reverse. And we'll hold here for our 4 to 5 breaths. Right? Hand can wrap behind. Support on thigh. Again, pelvis is coming under a little bit. Hold that there. I'm going to let you go through that one. I'm going to grab a quick sip. Keep your breath, right? Come back to the breath. That's our theme today. How are we doing on time? Awesome. Okay, so we are going to now be taking the top hand. Inhale, and as you exhale, bring that elbow or forearm to the thigh. We still should be on the same leg. You might be facing the other direction, but left foot front, left hand elbow, right hand ceiling, right? Able to sink down into this if that works for you, okay? All different levels and height levels, height levels. And then of course, option to extend with a block. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, engage the mid back. Yes. I'm gonna turn, look up, or look side, or down. All right, this time, instead of going down to our plank, we're gonna inhale ourselves back up to a warrior two, and then turn both of our feet, we'll drop the arms for now, both feet facing the front of the mat. Roll those shoulders around. We're gonna do one more forward fold, right, with wide leg. So I'm gonna inch my feet out further apart, and you're gonna take them out as much as comfortable for you, right? Feet are lined up with the outsides of the mat, so we want them totally straight to that long corner, right? Squeeze the quads here, breath up to the top. Exhale, we're gonna swan dive forward, reaching out long through the crown of the head. Continue down, right, as far as what's working for you. Options here to put your hands on the ground. You can even tent your fingers. It's gonna give you a couple more inches. Right, long through the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Inhale, and then exhale. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper on this fold as you exhale. And then release the head by shaking it yes and no. Float onto the toes, onto the ball of the feet a little bit, so those heels kind of lift and hover off of the floor. So the wide leg forward fold is a handstand prep. So think about if you were, trying to get ready to bring yourself into a handstand, and you're just lifting those heels and coming onto the toes, and hold that there as best you can. Oh, this feels so nice. Shake your head yes and no. Again, maybe you have your blocks. Here's mine. I've got 3 different heights for it. Yay. All right, no matter where you are, right, in this forward fold, the depth, bend your knees. It's like you're gonna sit down into a chair here, nice and wide. Let your hands fall to the floor, and then walk your feet in, heel toe it in, or you can even shift side to side in. We're gonna make our way into a deep squat, right? If this deep squat is not working for your knees, feel free to stay tall into a squat. Or if you have something that's sturdy enough, you can always place that block underneath your tailbone. I did not test this, so I don't know if this is gonna hold me or not. So far, so good. But I'm gonna go ahead and kick it out anyways, right? So deep squat here, behinds down to the ground. Backs of we'll call it the triceps on the knees, right? Pressing those out, lifting up through the chest. We got our breaths here. This is a really good asana for digestion, to get your digestive tract moving. I feel like I could stay here for a really long time. It's like comfortable. Yes, maybe, some, maybe yes, maybe no. All right, release your hands, put them down on the floor in front of you, and as you do, rock yourself forward, right? And the heads are gonna come down towards the floor. So options to stay here with all 4 limbs on the ground, right? If you have crow in your practice, here is where you would put it in, right? So our hands are gonna go down, we're gonna lean forward, right? If crow is not in your practice, hold right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna hold here for today. We're gonna look up, out, and away from you, as opposed to looking behind you, right? Head down kind of promotes a forward roll, a tumble forward. So just this one time, you gotta put your head back. We're in crow or we're holding. Maybe you do one leg at a time. Option, one leg at a time. All right, extend the arms and shift yourself back out into a plank here. Woo-wee. All right, up into down dog. Breath or two here. Inhale as you look to the top of your mat. Either step, hop, or walk. So breath in. On the exhale, step, hop, or walk. Right, come to half lift. And fold. Time check. All the way up, breath. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Right. 2 balance moves. 2 balance moves before we get back to the floor. Right? We'll start first one, airplane, which is going to transition us into a 3-point or a half moon. Okay, I'll still stand to the side. Okay, bring the shoulder blades together. So first of all, we'll start in mountain, right? Ground down through those feet. Turn your shoulder blades back, squeezing them together. Your palms are out. We're going to hinge forward from the hips and take a step back behind you with your toe of your left foot. Right? Keeping those shoulder blades squeezed together. And then continue tipping from the hips. And the foot is just going to go right along with that spine. So this is our airplane here. Flex through the back foot. And hold. Looking for a drishti, right? So we want to take our gaze to something that is not moving. Breath in, and then on the exhale, drop your hands down towards the mat. Continue with that leg in the back up to the ceiling. Option for your block to hold. And then if you'd like a little extra more in the challenge, you're going to inhale, bring the left arm in. Oh my. I think this block is messing me up. I can get that. All right, so the left hand is going to come in and extend up into our half moon. Drive through the heel and extend long through the head, the arms. All right, bring that top arm down, and this back foot will come down to meet. We'll end up here in a forward fold. Take your fingers, right, your pointy and your middle finger, wrap them around the big toes. Feet are about 6 to 8 inches apart. Our knees can be bent. We're going to inhale, try to pull the feet off the floor, and then exhale as the elbows go out to the outside. Pull your belly button back to your spine. And then release the hands. Inhale yourself to a half lift. And exhale to a fold. Back to the top. We'll start in a high mountain. Inhale. Hands come down to the side. Right, ready to go for the other side. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. A little hinge from the hips. Right foot is going to go kickstand in the back. I think I'm getting ready to have a coughing attack. And then lean forward. It's like a tickle, I can feel it. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, drive through the back foot. Hold this airplane here. You have the option to keep that back foot on the ground. So it's a kickstand airplane, I call it. Breath in. And then on your exhale, we'll drop the arms down to the mat, right? Options to hold here in this 3-point, or the right arm can come in, extend to the ceiling in our 3 points. Hold that 3-point position. How we doing? Hey Jen, hey Anna. All right, we've got to find ourselves moving on. Where are we? We're here. All right, right arm is going to come back down to the floor. That left foot to meet it. Rock back and forth here. All right, and then just sit the behinds down all the way in the back. A little squat here, and then release your weight to the back. Feet are going to come right out front, right? Flexing the toes. If you have a towel, a jacket, sweatshirt, anything, you can use it to prop underneath the tailbone, right? If you're feeling any strain in the low back with these legs out straight, because sometimes it does that with the hamstrings being so tight. So any pain or strain, just get a little, I call it a chalk, a little like a door chalk, you know, a wedge. Put that underneath of there, and then in the back, low back will relax. It'll push the pelvis forward. We'll take a breath up here. Inhale. As we exhale, we'll fold forward, making our sandwich. Right? Draw the belly buttons back. Right? Maybe even if you need to, you can move it around in there so that you can get a little more forward. I feel like we've been moving a lot up until this point, so let's get back to the length in our breath. We've got about 5 minutes of back bends that we're going to do before we get to Shavasana here. All right, release your hands to your shins and just slowly come on back up. The hands will just trace right along the legs. Then bend the knees. All right, bend the knees. Feet are on that short side of the mat. We'll release the arms out to the side, curl and cave here, and slowly roll. Slowly rolling yourself back down to the mat. I'm just going to scooch down a little bit so I'm in the picture. Hi, doggy. Hi. All right, moving on to our bridge. So the feet are going to be slightly separated with the knees slightly separated as well. Right? Lengthen through the spine. So tuck the chin down a little bit. Like you're trying to get your neck closer towards the mat. Okay? Lengthening out. Rock the feet, the knees side to side a little bit, releasing the low back. Yes. Okay. Now, take your heels and press them into the floor. Feel how that lifts the pelvis off the floor, right? The minute you start pressing down into the floor, then your pelvis makes this little tiny move. Right? We're going to hold it right in the beginning stages of that little tiny move. Breath in, and then as you exhale, you're going to push the hips up to the ceiling as high as you can. You might need to lift your head because it's going to push through those shoulders a little bit. Hold this position. Grab hold of the sides of your mat, and then try to push your mat away from you. Pull it. You're trying to pull it out from underneath of you, really, so it lengthens more through the head. Squeeze the glutes. Now you're welcome to hold this here, or you can take the shoulder blades and walk them in with a little clasp of the fingers, the hands underneath of the low back. Bringing the chest up to the chin just as much as bringing the chin to the chest, so you're meeting the two in the middle. Breath inhale, and then exhale. We're going to separate the hands and roll the spine, articulate it down one vertebrae at a time. And release that. Release the pressure off the feet, so lift the heels, and a little rock back and forth, heel toe, heel toe. And we'll do that one more time. So we're going to drive through the heels. Just start the pelvic lift. Keep on breathing and pressing this up to the top. Squeeze and get it up there as high as you can. Grab a hold of your mat. Try to pull it out from under you. Push this higher, higher, keeping the knees in line with the hips. And then maybe even a little bit higher, walk the shoulders in. Right, another option is to take the hands up underneath of the low back so you can get a little more into a back bend. Drive through the heels. Breaths, breaths, breaths. And then we'll release and roll out. So I really don't feel like we did enough prep for a full out wheel, right? It's going to be up to you if you'd like to do a full out wheel at this point, based on your practice and your experience overall in doing wheels, if you think that you are ready. But for the most part, most people will not quite be ready. We didn't take enough time to warm up for back bends. We are going to turn over prone for 2 minutes so we can do a couple more things, right? So come on over to your belly, straighten out those legs, and then roll over to your belly. We're going to take one ear down to the mat, and our hands are going to come along our sides with their palms down to the ground. So we're slapping the ground with our palms. The shoulders are really hunched over here at this point, but we're going to take care of that. Feet are flat, right? So toes, soles of the tops of the feet to the floor. Draw your belly away from the mat. So pull that belly button up, and then you're going to take an inhale, lift up through the shoulders, bring in the hand, trying to reach the hands further down the legs. The feet are going to lift up as well. Belly is lifted too. Then you're going to look down at the mat. And then as you exhale, you're going to turn your head to the other side and drop down. And then we'll do that again. Inhale, lift up into locust. And then exhale, turn your head and go to the other side. So we're getting a stretch on the neck. Inhale, lift up and down. And exhale, down to the side. Again, up. And down. Really important to make sure we're bringing the belly button up off of the floor, so that we're engaging the abs in as opposed to out. One more time. And down. All right. Nice job there. Just hold on here for a second. Take your hands, place them right beside your chest. Keeping your back as straight as you can, so no rounding yet. Push yourself up into a tabletop position, walking those knees under, right? And then we're going to come straight up, so our shoulders are over our hips and our hips are over our knees, right? We're going to get a little bit of a camel in here before we head out, right? Take a breath in and bring your arms up over your head. And then as you exhale, take one hand back, place your palm on your low back, and then the opposite hand as well on the low back. Squeeze those elbows together and lean yourself back. Draw the bellies in. It's not so much as pushing the pelvis forward, right? Squeeze the glutes. Chin is going to drop just a slight bit. Keep the belly button engaged. That's the hard part when we're all stretched out. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale here. Breath in, both arms to the top. And then both arms go back down. Exhale and lean. Feel free here. You can take this a little bit further. Maybe we drop the head a little more. And inhale up. Exhale, release. All right, roll those shoulders round and down. Go ahead and set your heels back onto your behind back onto your heels. And then let's turn over back down to the mat, all right? So lay out nice and long on your mat. Knees are not coming in yet. Right? Lay out on the mat. Order got a little wonky there, right? It would have been good if we started and stayed down here. But let's bring the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open to the outside. Oh, Supta Baddha Konasana. First time I use Sanskrit today. All right, palms are up to the ceiling. We're gonna start working our way to Shavasana. Okay, we're not gonna totally finish in this pose here, but we'll just start settling the body down. Quiet. We can already position our head and neck. Maybe you need a pillow underneath of the head. Instagram, we're getting ready to lose, so feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like, and then slowly bringing yourself out, right? Otherwise, all right, palms up to the ceiling. Starting from the top down. Normally I start from the feet, but let's start from the top down. Taking the shoulders, raise them off the mat, and then let them back down real super heavy. Take your palms and squeeze them, make fists, open, close, and then relax them real heavy on the floor. Draw the belly buttons in. Ooh, you might need to lift the legs a little bit. Lift the knees up to the ceiling a little bit. Draw the belly buttons in. Squeeze it real hard like you're getting ready to take a punch and release it. Now we'll take the legs one at a time out. Again, making our way to our final rest here. Squeeze your glutes. You feel the pelvis lift off the floor and then let it go. Squeeze your quads. Squeeze your whole leg. We might as well flex the foot, the calf, the quads, everything. Squeeze, squeeze, and then let it go. If you'd like to put something over your eyes at this point, you can do that. If your neck is uncomfortable, then place a towel underneath the back of your head. Now's the time we will rest our body and our mind. We can't guarantee that we won't hear anything, so be okay with hearing what you hear, and then let it go. Bring yourself back. You can feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you would like. But in order to finish up the class, I am going to move on. But again, feel free. Stay.
Wiggle your toes, your ankles, and then your hips. So just take your feet back and forth like windshield wipers really slowly. We'll move this to the fingers and the wrists. Bend your arms, your elbows. Move those around in some circles. Other way. Place your hands on your abdomen and bend your knees. Feet to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Nice cleansing breath there. We'll bring the knees into the chest one at a time and rock them back and forth here. Awesome job keeping those knees together. You're going to roll over to one side. Take a couple breaths here in your fetal position. And then slowly pushing yourself up, keeping your eyes closed. Bring yourself to crisscross here in the center. Let's take our palms up to the ceiling. Again, receive all the positive energy, letting any negative go. We'll finish with a big breath in, reaching the arms up. Exhale as you bring your hands to prayer and rest the thumbs at your heart, and a little bow with the head to the fingertips. So a breath here at the heart, reminding you to love and send love. We'll bring the thumbs to the nose, to the lips, to remind us to speak and send love. And then finally to the third eye with the thumbs, to remind us to think and send love. Namaste. Namaste. Have a great evening. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you hopping on. I was here for Lindsay tonight. Again, my name was Aimee, if you're coming in the middle. Let's see, what do I got? I got some Pilates coming up on Wednesday at 5:30. Active Spirit on Friday. Pump on Saturday. It was so nice to do pump. And then Gentle on Sundays. Right, if you have any questions at all, please make sure you put them in the chat. We will definitely get back to you. If you have something else you need some help with, you can email me at awinkler@merrittclubs.com. All right, thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a pleasant evening. I'm feeling very pleasant right now. All right, thanks so much. Good morning. Someone's saying good morning. It's good. It's morning where someone is. Thanks so much. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. I'm going to sign off.